everyone, welcome back to our channel. If you're new here, welcome. We're the Garzo twins. I'm Carly.
And I'm Britta.
Please subscribe before you leave so you don't miss any of our uploads. We upload quite often.
Yes.
Today is a super exciting video. We are talking all about our new pet care brand, Clean Coats. This has been a labor of love, so we can't wait to share it with you all. Okay, so it was the summer of 2020, everyone was home, and we were laying out one day, basking in the sun, and we had kind of casually thought about launching a pet care brand for a little bit, but we had just launched Dyad the year before, so we were
Which is our candle brand if you're new here.
Yeah, so we were really focused on that, but we just could not find a good formulation for pet shampoo on the market, and the one that we had been using, it was fine. It wasn't a luxurious formula, it was fine by an ingredient perspective, there was no harsh ingredients, it was fragrance free, but everything else left more to be desired. The formula was super thin and runny, it didn't really lather super well, the bottle was really medicinal looking, the label was a really outdated design, so nothing else was good about it except for the ingredients they were using.
Yeah, and like we said, it did the job and it was fine, but we were so background, we have worked in the beauty industry for 7 years. We've recently left our full-time jobs to work on this brand and our other brand, but we've worked in product development for beauty brands for years now. And so we have really seen the trends with beauty brands like hair care, skincare specifically, that's really centered around key ingredients, and the consumer just being so much more smart about ingredients and actually wanting to learn why those ingredients are efficacious and not accepting that ingredients can be in formulas at marketing levels and they're not doing anything. Basically consumers have just been getting really smart, so then the brands, and doing their own research.
Yeah, so the brands have really elevated formulas, which is amazing. But we were perplexed because we had seen this at our jobs, but we hadn't seen this in the pet industry. But then when we talk about what's most important to us, our dogs are our life. We would do anything for them, and we know a lot of people feel the same way. So we were this is just so interesting that we have high standards for what we put on our skin, but it seems as a whole the pet care industry was just lacking those same high standards for pet care formulas, and so a bell went off, basically. So we're sitting outside or in the sun talking about this idea and trying to come up with a name, because for us we really need a name.
We have to start there
to make it real.
I know some people work a year into the project without a real name. I'm
how?
No,
that's not our process. So we were trying to come up with a name, and there's a fuzziness around this, because I feel I said Clean Coats, and then Tommy, my boyfriend, also said it later on, and Carly was like, oh, I really like that. But in my heart of hearts, I feel I said it too. So I know Tommy said it first, because we were writing all the name ideas down when we were outside in the sun, and he had said it, and we wrote it down, and then we regrouped on the names, and it was his name idea. Britta's convinced it was hers. I really think I said it, but maybe it was my subconscious talking. I don't know. Regardless, Tommy really did us a solid with the name, or we both did as a team.
Yes.
But we love the name, and it just made so much sense because Clean Coats, our shampoo and products will clean your pet's coat, but it
it's
also
a grooming product.
A grooming product, but it also goes back to kind of clean beauty, which you guys know, we don't buy into it fully.
The non-toxic and all of that.
Yeah.
We don't subscribe to that ideal.
Yeah, but we want to give, we want people to know that if they are someone who only uses clean beauty products, that this product is safe for them to use, especially being fragrance free.
Yeah.
So clean meaning more gentle. I'm gonna go in detail about the products, but obviously, like Britta said, we wanted to start with a shampoo because it seems to be the product that most people use at home. And I don't think a lot of people use all the extra products when they're at home. Those are more used by groomers, and it sort of depends on your dog too, right? But this was just the one that we felt we had to start with. But we are working on other products. We have one right now that we're really working on the formula to get it out this year, so that we can launch our second product this year too, which would be amazing. So should we talk about the shampoo?
Yeah.
Okay, so this is what it looks like, and we love it so much.
so cute.
It says Clean Coats. This is our logo.
Clean Coats Pet Shampoo. Also, wait, let's talk about like the people that helped us.
Oh, okay, sure.
So Fabi, our friend, did the graphic design for us. We had like a very strong vision. We are just those types of people. Like we basically knew the font style we wanted.
I'll put like my original mock on the screen because it's laughable. I don't know how to do a mock, so I just made a rectangle in Canva and like filled it in, but it was a really rough go, and she kind of made it come to life.
Yeah, so we knew we wanted blue. That was like the easiest decision. We both love blue. Blue has always been like my favorite color, and it's also just a color that I feel like so many people gravitate towards. I know like other colors are trending, but I think that blue is something that's never gonna go out of style. So our main brand color is this like dusky blue. We picked a ton of Pantones, and we landed on this one, so we like gave that to our graphic designer. And then we also knew we like pulled some font families that look like this. I don't know how to describe it, but this sort of font style. Gave that to her as inspo, and then yeah, she just sort of like made it come to life. We knew we wanted. This was another thing that we had seen, like on a mood board somewhere, that where the font sort of like you feel like tension in the corners, like the font goes into the upper left hand corner and then into the bottom right hand corner. I know maybe most people think this is boring, but we loved that look, that it wasn't like the font was centered. And yeah, there was just like some tension and some uniqueness to it, especially since we had like so much room to play with this rectangle bottle, which was another thing. We originally wanted this like middle dispense circular bottle, but then when we started sourcing bottles, we like instantly knew we wanted a rectangle
because
bottle.
I feel like the rectangle allows for more text, and we don't have secondary packaging, so we had to put the ingredient list, the warnings, the directions, all of that on the bottle. So the rectangle kind of also made sense from that regard. Like we couldn't fit all this text on like a small circular bottle too.
Yeah.
But we love the rectangle.
Yeah, so she did the design, we loved it. There was a few rounds of tweaking for sure, but we got it to where we think it's like perfect. We have our secondary logo that she also did, which is right here. It's a little like CC with a paw print in the back, and then the back side has all the information. So the ingredient list. We also wanted to call out plant-derived ingredients for anyone that's interested. Again, I don't think we subscribe to like the natural, non-toxic sort of like branding, but we do know that people want to know that, you know, it's gentle and using like natural ingredients. So yeah, we have that on there, and then we have all of our sort of like call outs on here.
I'll just read them off. Vegan, cruelty-free, fragrance-free, odor-controlling, concentrated formula, sulfate-free, silicone-free, human-grade, rich foam, dermatologist-tested, and calms dry skin. And one thing that was really important to us was having a very luxurious formula that was also clean. And so the rich foam we like put on here as a call out because this formula lathers so well.
Yeah, it uses natural surfactants, like naturally derived surfactants, so they're not too harsh, but yeah, it lathers beautifully. It has like such a nice cushion.
Even our groomer told us that when they use it, it creates so much body in the hair that it makes it easier for them to cut the hair. And another really important thing for us was obviously to be cruelty-free and vegan, because we know a lot of you guys and just people in general, like that's really important to them and something they look for in their products.
And it's like a pet brand.
Yeah, it's a pet brand, so obviously. So we also went through the Leaping Bunny certification, which again was important to us to have that certification. So we have a little Leaping Bunny logo on here. So our products are cruelty-free by Leaping Bunny standards, which is amazing.
And then at the very least for the packaging, in the future we want to use some PCR material, but this specific bottle we could not, but it is HDPE material, which means it's 100% recyclable. So we also have the recycle symbol on here. So once you're done, just like rinse it out really cleanly, take the cap off, and the bottle itself can be recycled. So that also was something that we really wanted, and at the very least, like we want recyclable packaging. Yeah. Okay, next up we'll touch on the fill weight, because I don't know if you can tell, but it's kind of like a smaller bottle, which we did want because it's more portable and easier, at least in our, like when we're bathing our dogs, just like take this out, it's easier to grab.
Store in your shower.
But it is 300 ml, so 10 fluid ounces. And the reason we also did this is because our formula is so concentrated, which is another thing our groomer even mentioned. Like the first time he used it, he was like, oh, I used way too much, because a little goes a long way. So even though this may seem like not a standard amount of product for a pet shampoo, because generally like they come, you know, really like large quantities, probably really filled with water and like a lot less concentrated than ours. So ours is very concentrated, so little goes a long way. So it should last you like a standard amount of time.
Yeah, we'll have a chart on our website too, depending on the size of your dog, how much we recommend you use. But just for some perspective, even like a half to 1 full teaspoon for a small dog is plenty. Like a little goes a long way. So we think this bottle will last you a long time. And not to mention, most standard shampoos for like human grade shampoos are 300 ml. So this is a standard fill weight for a shampoo. Most dog shampoos just are larger, and we get it, like they're different sized dogs. But if you guys are like us, we don't wash our dogs at home all that often. So I feel like this will last you plenty. I want to touch on some ingredients we included in here. The main one being colloidal oatmeal. We have almost 3% colloidal oatmeal. It's 2.94%. And if you're familiar with that ingredient, it's in a lot of pet shampoos because it's extremely calming to the skin. So it's really good for pets that have, you know, more sensitive skin, sensitive coats. It's very calming and gentle, and it just provides a lot of like barrier support, I would say.
And like soothing.
And soothing properties. So that was like the number one thing we wanted to include in the formulation, and at an active level, like 3%.
Okay, next we have this conditioning complex. I won't like say the trade name, but it's this kind of like newer ingredient that has just the most like amazing conditioning properties. It really adds like shine to the coat and softness, and obviously we wanted to include that, even though this is a rinse off product, so it's not like it's actually staying in the hair and conditioning like a conditioner would. We don't want the conditioner or the shampoo to be like stripping, or, you know, if people don't want to follow up with conditioner, which I think most people don't, we want it to have some sort of like those conditioning properties. So we added this ingredient and we love it.
Yeah, specifically to leave the hair feeling soft. That was really important to us. And then we have a few other ingredients like panthenol, which helps like dehydrated skin to soothe the skin. It's a very common in
hair.
Yeah, it's a very common ingredient in skincare and hair care. And then we have like squalane, which you guys know isn't like everything, but it's such a good like oil, licorice root, and aloe vera. They all just sort of like help calm skin,
promote a healthy skin barrier.
Yeah, just those like really like yummy nutrient ingredients that we wanted to include in here. And one thing we really wanted to include that we can't necessarily market to like on our packaging, because in Europe it's considered a drug ingredient, is pyridinolamine. If you're familiar, do your own research, but I've worked on a couple of hair care brands specifically for dandruff, and this ingredient is used and loved in that world because it really helps to eliminate bacteria on the scalp that creates dandruff. So for our shampoo, we wanted to use it to help eliminate bacteria that would be odor causing, because we aren't using fragrance in here, as you guys know. So it kind of helps to eliminate like long-term odor on your dog. Like, of course, when you wash them, they'll still have that kind of like wet dog smell.
Yeah.
But as soon as they're dry, there's no odor.
Yeah, but also along with this, because we have like these efficacious ingredients in here, we don't want you to just rinse it off right away.
Yeah.
So on like the shampoo, we say
For 60 seconds.
Yeah, like keep it on for 60 seconds if you can.
Well,
And
lather it for 60 seconds. You don't have to like let it sit.
Yeah.
Just like lather it up and for 60 seconds and then rinse it off.
Yeah. And like one thing that our brand is definitely standing for with this product and future products is like we're always going to include active ingredients, meaning that like we're using these efficacious ingredients at active levels. They're not just thrown in there at like a really tiny amount that isn't actually doing anything. So that's something that's really important to us, and we're going to continue to do that in the future. That makes the formula very expensive.
Yeah, like for transparency's sake, this formula costs like about the same as some of the like prestige hair care brands we've worked on, but those brands are obviously very expensive, and we wanted this product to be at an accessible price point because, you know, we spend a lot of money on our pets and we don't want you to have to spend more than you need to. So it is priced at $16, and we hope that that is accessible for you and you want to check it out. Okay, next up is our Gentle Pet Brush. This was also not a last minute add-on, but we didn't want to launch with one product, and we were like hyper focused
on getting the shampoo right, and then we were like, well, we just need something else. We didn't want to do a conditioner right away.
Also, the shampoo took over a year. We changed things like oftentimes. I'm sure our manufacturer was like wanting to kill us, but we are really picky, so we just kept going till it was perfect. But yeah, it was a labor of love for sure.
So we decided we were going to launch with a brush, and when we thought of a pet brush, we had been using the boar bristle brushes on our dogs for about a year or so. We had seen it somewhere. Carly
I
saw it somewhere.
thought I was looking for a brush for me, actually, like a boar bristle brush to start doing the sleek bun trend. And I saw a comment on one of the Amazon pages for one of those brushes that this girl mentioned how she used that brush on her dog. And she's like, none of the typical dog brushes would work because they don't like the metal bristles. And she's like, this works so perfect for my dog. So I was like, oh, I'm going to get an extra one and we can like test it on the dogs. And so I did, and they loved it.
Yeah.
But then again, it's really important to us that this brand be vegan. And so boar bristles are not vegan. So then we set out to make a vegan version for our line.
Yeah, and we love it, and our dogs like this one even more. I think like we had gone through a couple different bristle options, and this one is, I think it mimics boar really closely because it is like quite soft, but it's still like, if you can tell, it's pretty densely packed. Like I'm going like this and it's not going anywhere.
And you can buy this for your sleek back buns if you want.
Yeah, you can. I mean, the blue color is so cute. But we settled on this. The hairs aren't too long, and it really just does a great job of touching up your pet's coat, like in between washes. Like, yeah, it's not gonna, if your dog sheds a lot, it's not gonna be a brush that like catches all their hair.
And we're calling it the gentle pet brush, so we are not saying that it's like used to be a grooming brush.
Yeah, but it really leaves their hair silky smooth. I kid you not. Terry
and like
loves
fluffy.
this brush.
Yeah.
Like the other day, it's been raining in LA, not anymore, thankfully. But we came back inside from a walk. He had like water and dirt all in his head. I'm like, I don't even know. Did he go under a bush? Like, what happened? So I took like a wipe and I wiped down his head, and then I used this and just brushed it back. And when it dried, his hair had looked like it hadn't been dirty at all, and it was so fluffy and smooth. So if you have dogs kind of like ours, that their coat doesn't necessarily get super tangled or matted,
and they don't shed that
and they
much.
don't really shed, but you just want them to have soft hair, this is the perfect brush.
And like a refresher. Like, it really does make them look, it makes them look freshly groomed.
Yes, totally. It just, I can't tell you how soft and silky it makes their hair.
And we love wood. So we like picked a wood handle, and then it's just painted, and we just love that look. Like, it looks chic to us. Like, we're like, oh, and again, like, I could use this.
Yeah, like if you have it sitting on your vanity, like no one's gonna think it's for your dog.
Yeah, so feel free for yourself or your
It's so
dog.
cute, and it comes in this little like white box with the little sticker and usage instructions, and then it'll come in a poly bag as well inside the box.
The brush is $10.
Yes.
And we, our dogs are really small, as you know, and so we wanted a brush that was a bit larger. So if you do have a larger dog, you can use it, but it works fine for our small dogs.
Yeah, they don't mind
fine
with it.
And another thing, if you have I feel like we keep, I don't know, we're always going to be making products with like rescue dogs and mine. We'll get to that in a second, but our dogs, especially Luna, just don't like being brushed. She barely likes being touched because she is really like skittish. She's been through a lot. And so like all the other brushes we had ever tried on her, she just got so scared, like petrified. So we just could never brush her. And she lets us brush her with this, and it's like, it makes me want to cry because she actually seems to enjoy it even a little bit. And that's so rare. So if you have a dog that's just scared of being brushed, like, I really think how gentle these bristles are will be so nice for them. And last but certainly not least, something that our brand is going to stand for is raising awareness and money for rescue dogs, or for rescues that, help rescue dogs.
Not just dogs. You can buy these products for your cats as well.
Yeah. Not just dogs, but I just say that out of
we only have dogs.
Yeah, personal experience. But we got both of our loves of our life from rescues, and we wouldn't have it any other way. And we grew up in a household that, did not rescue dogs.
Yeah.
That bought from breeders. And so I think it's like a different kind of love having a rescue dog.
Yeah. And we are not, like, we will beg you to rescue
Yeah.
We're
Yeah.
not above it.
It's probably
Please
the thing
consider.
we're like so passionate about, because
Yeah.
you see how overcrowded like shelters and rescues are, especially now. And we just want to do anything we can with this brand to help that. So we are donating 10% of profits from every sale to rotating rescues. The first rescue we're starting with is Dogs Without Borders, because it's local to us and it's where we got Terry from. And they were just so great when we got Terry. We had already had Luna at that point, and they gave us so many instructions on how to introduce them, and they just really set us up to succeed. Like, I remember I emailed them a million times with all these questions because we were so paranoid introducing a new dog into a home that already had an existing, let's be real, problematic rescue dog. Then they like always answered my emails and texts, and like we're always on top of it. Even after we officially adopted him, he's had some behavioral issues. They continue to be so responsive and helpful, so we just love them. And yeah, so they're our first rescue that we're going to be donating profits to. I think we're gonna switch at like every quarter.
Yeah, probably every quarter. We'll announce it like on our Instagram
Yeah.
and probably on our website, the current rescue that the funds are going to.
So we hopefully you guys love that, and if you have any rescues that mean a lot to you, we'd love to know so we can put them on our rotating donations roster. So leave it down below. Okay, and it seems like so long ago, honestly it was probably over a year ago,
Yeah.
that we sent out, I don't know if you guys remember, but a survey to all of you asking for your help and your opinions on different pet care products so we could start like really building this brand. And that survey continues and to be so helpful, and was probably the most helpful thing and tool we had while building this brand. So
Yeah.
thank you so much for everyone that did that survey, and everyone that continued. I mean, everyone even watching this, like everyone's support has been so, I don't know, it's just so nice. People reaching out and asking like when we were launching and like what
Yeah.
the status was, and just being genuinely interested. It's like still mind-blowing that you guys care.
I know. Yeah, we, like Harley said, that survey, I mean, we had always felt really strongly about it being fragrance free, but knew a lot of people liked fragrance, and the survey came back like 50-50, so we were still kind of confused. But then so many of you guys wrote in comments and saying like, you know, people that use fragrance in their products like still might try yours if it's fragrance free, but people that only use fragrance free won't try it if you include fragrance. And that was such good advice. I don't know why we didn't think of it. And so if you fall into that camp, if you usually like fragrance but are willing to try this fragrance-free formula, we really appreciate that. But all of your comments, all of your feedback has been so helpful, and we want to keep this going. So if you can let us know like other products that you would be interested in us launching down below, that would be so helpful. Any feedback is welcome. We are just so excited.
Even telling us like, oh, this is my favorite product I use on my dog. Anything you have, we'd love to hear. Okay, thank you guys so much for watching.
Thank you so much.
The link to buy Clean Coats will be down below. No pressure, but thank you so much for watching this video. And yeah, lots to come in the future.